I don't normally do a ton of like talk through videos as I'm doing my makeup. I'll typically do like a voiceover or just a talking video, but it's 2026 and we're trying some new things with content. Speaking of 2026, I am not a firm believer in New Year's resolutions, but I am a believer in putting your intentions out and pulling things into your orbit. This year, I think I want to speak out into the universe the things I want to pull into my orbit. I am just like thinking about what I want to do for the year, my intentions for the year. You know, I have been creating content, makeup content on the internet for now over 12 years in many different forms. I have done Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, I have tried it. I think I kind of found my groove last year in kind of what I have been working on. My big thing that I want to do this year is kind of show up for myself and be consistent. That consistency, I don't want to discipline myself or make myself feel bad, but I think I want to just work on being consistent in what I do and how I do it. I think this year I also want to celebrate more of my accomplishments and my milestones, because I feel like that's only fair to myself when I hit milestones or experience this immense growth and change like I have. This last year was the biggest growth I've ever had in my content creation ever. And I don't think I really give myself credit much for that. I worked really hard this last year, which I know sounds like one of those like, I work really hard. But I do have a full-time job. I work full-time every week, minimum 40 hours. I create content on multiple platforms, like I said, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, consistently every week. I do all of my own editing, all of my own filming. I don't have any assistants while also running my brand as well. So I do all of the customer service, order fulfillment, inventory, everything all on my own in between everything else I do. In addition to wanting to celebrate myself more, I really also want to take some time and highlight other creators this year, whether it be through doing collabs or more like recreations of other artists. Like, I would love to do that and really kind of share a little bit of that spotlight. I'm not saying I have like the most followers in the world or the most engagement in the world by any means. Please do not take this as that. But I also know that when people would shed light on me as I was kind of coming up, that felt so good to me. And I would love to do that with other artists, because that felt like such an immense sense of pride when people would recognize me like that, if that makes sense. Another thing I really want to work on pulling into my orbit this year is stepping out of my comfort zone and trying new things, whether it be new content creation, whether it be, I'm like getting ahead of myself because I'm thinking so fast. I said more makeup recreations. I want to try more makeup styles. I want to do like day in my life content. I want to try more local restaurants, coffee shops, those things, and kind of have a little bit more of that experience as well. I think another thing I'm pulling into my orbit this year, I'm bringing in my organization era. What I mean by that is I'm going to really take the time to make sure everything has its place and everything's in that place. It's going to be so much easier to get through that day to day. Really great for me in the realm of content creation, because I'll be able to write these ideas out, check things off as they go, and try to keep myself to a schedule when it comes to editing. My last YouTube video I posted, just like a little behind the scene thing, I was in the process of editing the last YouTube video I posted for literally a month. I filmed a video in November and I posted it truly on either January 1st or 2nd. So I was just having such a hard time. I was having such a hard time when it came to editing because I got sick, I lost my voice, I was doing a voiceover, I was having a hard time staying focused. So I think maybe if I'm working on the ability in myself to keep organized and consistent, then I won't have to struggle as much through that, because I love creating and I love what I do. I just need to make sure that I'm giving myself that ability to do it. I want to see how this little pastel-y thing's gonna work. Danessa Myricks, the legend you are. Speaking of Danessa Myricks, I would love this year. I feel so corny when I talk about like wanting recognition from brands, but sometimes that's not just like, I don't know, how do you say like that? Recognition and PR are like two different things, but I would love to really have more opportunity to play around with more brands and more releases, whether that be from PR or whether that be budgeting myself to be able to buy new releases to experience. I really want to work on as well. This year I paid off thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of credit card debt that I am not willing to rack up again. And I also know creating consistently gets me that opportunity to monetize, and that monetization can be put back into my content to better my content, and that's what we're always working on here. You know, I am proud of myself and the work I've done over the last few years of social media and just in general. Like I said, I do all of this social media while also having a full-time job, while also maintaining relationships with my family, with my partner, with my friends. And it's a lot of work, and I have put in a ton of time, and I'm really glad that things are starting to pay off, and I'm starting to see that kind of return on investment in time. Not everything is about money, but the money does help. I do celebrate myself in that aspect, and I know I'm a hard worker, and I know people on here love to have comments of like, especially people who don't agree with people like me in this world will love to say like unemployed behavior. Can you believe that these kind of people exist? Yes, we exist, and we're successful, and we're smart, and we're funny, and we're talented. And I'm not afraid to put myself out there because I know that I'm entertaining and talented. I know I'm jumping around a lot, but I'm just kind of talking as things come into my head. But I know that I said that I wanted to do one of the things I wanted to pull into my orbit this year was more experience with brands. I would love for more brands to have that recognition of me. I think I want to be more, like I said, intentional with what I'm trying and what I'm showcasing. A couple of the brands that, you know, I want to bring into my orbit more this year, I would love to bring in more Danessa Myricks. Everything I've tried from Danessa Myricks I've loved. I would love to do bring in a little more Made by Mitchell into my orbit. I would love to bring more Blend Bunny. Blend Bunny is a brand that I use religiously. I would love to bring more Blend Bunny into my orbit because everything that Maggie from Blend Bunny does is so intentional, so well thought out, so beautiful. Like, I love that creativity. I really want to try 48 Beauty. Adriana, who's a creator on TikTok, she rebranded, closed down her old brand, and is coming back with I think it's 48 Beauty. Her palettes look to die for. I need to try those. I just want to do more this year. I want to do more with my friends. I want to do more with myself. I really am working on kind of growing myself, if that makes sense. I think I want to add this Beauty Bakery liquid shadow just for a little more kind of dimension throughout. I really want to focus this year on, I know there's been a lot of discourse of like people wanting a village but don't want to be a villager, and I know in the last couple of years I've had a really great village, so I want to work on being a villager outside of like my content creation journey. I'm just kind of haphazardly popping this all around because I want something that's a little more abstract. I'm going in, these are Jer Kitty lashes in the style Jer.